Hey everyone, it's me, Saiyan Goku 9001, and today I'm going to review Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. So, I know the game is 7 months old, but I really wanted to review this game as my first review. So, yeah, Sonic Generations. Also, I don't have any volume for my gameplay, so I'm just gonna put some music over the gameplay I show and while I'm reviewing it. So yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started and start the review. The story. Okay, so the story in the game is pretty simple. Sonic's friends throw him a birthday party, and Sonic gets pretty excited about it. However, a strange creature named the Time Eater comes along out of nowhere and sucks all of Sonic's friends through time holes. Sonic tries to defeat the monster but is knocked out in the process. He wakes up in another dimension called White Space, where he has to go back through all of his past memories to save all of his friends and defeat Dr. Eggman. Okay, the story isn't Shakespeare, but you know what, it doesn't really need to be. And it's a lot better than some of the other stories Sega has come up with, especially those in Sonic 06. So, if I was to rate the story, I would give it a 7 out of 10 for being simple and unlike the other Sonic games, well, maybe except Colors, it's not too complex and very, it's not incredibly stupid. So, story gets a 7 out of 10. Next is gameplay, though I'm going to talk about the classic Sonic gameplay and then modern. So, let's start. Okay, before you start asking, if you haven't played the game anyway, yes, classic Sonic plays exactly like he did back in the Mega Drive days. He controls very good as well. You can do stuff like press X to use spin dash, or just, or press A to jump, or B, or crouch and all that stuff, he controls very well. I don't like classic Sonic as much as modern. I don't know, maybe it's just because I grew up with modern Sonic, but I kind of like the modern Sonic gameplay more than the classic Sonic. But classic Sonic is still great fun, fast and fluid gameplay. So I'm going to talk about the levels in classic in particular. Green Hill Zone is definitely one of the best levels, definitely reminiscent of the early Mega Drive days, very similar to the original one. Chemical Plant is a great level, definitely takes good inspiration from Sonic 2, and it's done very well. Sky Sanctuary is also great, although it kind of gets annoying because sometimes I fall, pitfalls come out of nowhere, and it can be a bit annoying at times, but it's still a good level. Speed Highway is great, very fast and very fun. City Escape is probably one of the best levels in the game. That truck is friggin' insane. Dear God, it always tries to kill me, but I still love this level nonetheless. Seaside Hill. Pretty good. It can be. I kind of thought it was a bit boring, but it's still a fun level. Crisis City, not as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually a pretty good level. I don't love it, but I think it's pretty good. Rooftop Run, best classic Sonic level. Freaking awesome. I love the level, and I always will. Okay, and finally Planet Wisp. Oh my God, we go from Rooftop Run to this. I hate Planet Wisp with a passion. I fucking hate this place. I fucking despise this place. It's so annoying. So many pitfalls. It goes on forever. Oh my God. And it's so hard to keep your rings. Every time I hit some freaking spikes. I mean, dear God, not only that, but the level design is freaking terrible here. And not only is it bad in classic, but it's bad in modern too. But let's get to that later. But as I said, classic Sonic levels, for the most part, are great. So, if you want it for classic Sonic action, it's great. Okay, so now I give the classic Sonic levels a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, next up is the modern Sonic gameplay. Okay, so here we are, we're going to talk about the modern Sonic gameplay. It's just as good as it was in Unleashed, and it's just as good as it was in Colors, using the Hedgehog engine. It's, it's great. I mean, I always loved these levels. Unleashed was half good, half eh. And Colors was awesome. Yeah, this game is no exception. It's really great. This is the best use of the Hedgehog engine so far. So, without further ado, let's get started with the levels. Green Hill Zone. Okay, I like this level. It's, again, just like the classic Sonic version. It's great as well. Of course, it's not the best, but it's good. Chemical Plant Zone. Really fun as well. I always love going down the rails in that level. I think it's really cool. And it's, one of the funnest levels with modern Sonic. I think it's really fun. Sky Sanctuary. I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of this in the modern Sonic because, I don't know, I don't think it worked as well as it did in the classic. It's still fun, I suppose, but it's not great, but it's good. Speed Highway. This level got an awesome makeover. Really fun. I especially love that scene where you're just going down the huge ass building. It was my favorite scene in Adventure, and it's my favorite scene in Generations. Love it. City Escape. Again, like the classic Sonic, that truck is friggin' insane. It's even more insane here. It tries to freaking kill it. It tries to kill you even more. It has razor blades. It tries to crash into you. It's freaking insane. But that doesn't mean the level's awesome. It is awesome. So, City Escape is probably the best modern Sonic level. Especially oh, and let's not forget that part at the start. Aw, damn, I love that. Okay, and now we're on to Seaside Hill. Pretty good level. It's just as good as it was in Sonic Heroes. And a good level. Crisis City. I think this one was good. A few pitfalls here and there, and it kind of got annoying using with your homing attack sometimes in this level, but it's still good, not perfect. Rooftop Run, tied with City Escape. This is the best level in the game. Friggin' awesome, I swear. Just as good as it was before, and especially love that part where you're going down Big Ben on the rail. Damn, that is epic. Okay, now we Planet Wisp, it sucks, blah blah blah, end of story. No, really, what's wrong with Planet Wisp? It's so bad. It tends to drag on for forever. It's boring, it's crap, it sucks. I mean, the funny thing is, Sonic Colors was the best 3D Sonic game, yet it has the worst level in this game. Like, how the frickin' hell does this add up? But I digress. It's just a bad level, Okay. But for the most part, all the modern Sonic levels are great. I'll probably give the modern Sonic levels a 10 out of 10. Great. With the exception of Planet Wisp, but I still give it a 10 out of 10 because I love the gameplay. Next is graphics. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the graphics. Well, there's one thing I can say. They're great! Yeah, in all seriousness though, they're really good. I mean, brilliant. They look amazing in HD. I can understand why they couldn't really put it on the Wii. I know they could have used the Sonic Colors engine maybe, but I don't know, it wouldn't have looked as amazing, so maybe it's kind of good they didn't put it on the Wii. They could have butchered it, to be honest. I mean, look at the 3DS version. I wasn't a huge fan of that one, to be honest. But, the graphics in this game are beautiful. They, sometimes you're just a little speck in a large open area. I mean, it's a really good-looking game. Probably one of the best-looking games, probably one of the best-looking platformers this gen, if not the best. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful and stunning-looking game. So the graphics get a 10 out of 10. Next is the sound. Let me tell you, the music in this game is friggin' awesome. I mean, the remixes are great, the remixes are great, the theme songs are great, even the frickin' menu and music and stuff is great. I'm not going to tell you any of the music because I don't want to spoil how good this is. Besides, you already hear a bit of it in the background. But let me tell you, it's some of the best Sonic music you'll ever hear, if not the best. So music is absolutely amazing. Some of the best I've heard in any platforming game. Anyway, let's go on to the sound effects. Basic sound effects, spring sound effects, running sound effects, jumping sound effects. Nothing special, but, they're old classic Sonic effects. And lastly, we have the voice acting. You know what? It's actually not bad. I think the voice actors give respectable performances. Roger Craig Smith is a good Sonic, and all the other characters sound fine. Tails actually sounds like a dude. Even though he's voiced by a girl, but he still sounds like an 8-year-old, much better than a 4-kid's voice. So, yeah, voice acting pretty decent. So, as for the sound, probably give it a 9 out of 10. Really great. Okay, next is the boss battles and the rival battles. Oh boy, this is where the game falls short. No, I really did not like the boss battles and the rival battles. Of the boss battles, the only one I thought was good was the Egg Dragoon. For the rival battles, the only one I thought was good was Silver. All the rest sucked. Metal Sonic was as easy as heck. It was pathetic. I mean, it wasn't fun, it was just easy. Shadow, it's basically just a race. You're racing for these orbs and then you're trying to beat the crap out of them. It's not fun. But Silver, it's great because I actually think it's very fun trying to go homing attacking the cars and trying to homing attack him. It's very fun and it's very strategic as well. It's great fun. Probably the only good rival battle. Now for the boss battles, Death Egg Robot isn't really that great. It's just so bland and boring. I just didn't like it. Perfect Chaos. Well, I guess he was okay, but I thought the battle was too short, and I was excited, but honestly, in the end, it just came up short, and yeah, disappointing. Egg Dragoon was great, because it was actually very fun. Sometimes you had to wall jump to get up to him, other times you sped into him. It was a very fun boss battle. Sometimes quite hard, though. And then there's the last boss battle, with the Time Eater. To say this was disappointing is an understatement. I'm not gonna say much, but another thing I'll say is that it's boring, and that the characters never stop spamming that one line. That looks like a homing shot. It's so annoying. God, I just want them to shut up. But, yeah, boss battles and rival battles really weren't that great. So, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10 in this place. But it's only here it really falls short. Everywhere else, it's at least decent. But here it was very mediocre. Next up is replay value and other things you may want to know. Okay, so now this is the last part before the verdict. And I have to say, I think that there's a good bit of replay value here. You can go back and get S ranks if you didn't do it the first time. That's exactly what I did. You can also unlock bonuses like you can get cutscenes, character models, artwork, and music, which, in a nice touch, can also be played during the game. I think that's very nice of Sega. I think it's great to play through levels like City Escape with something like Endless Possibilities on. It's very cool. Another great feature in the game is that there's a skill shop where you can buy all kinds of skills for Sonic, like turning him into Super Sonic, giving him infinite boost, and lots of other great skills. Lastly, there is also a questions and answers place where you can find out about how to play the game, how to beat some levels. Also, there are lots of different challenges, which helps keep the game a bit longer. But I have one problem, and I kind of wish the main story mode was a bit longer. I kind of wish they packed in a few more levels. I just think it's a little short, but I digress. It's pretty good in replay value. For replay value, I give this game an 8 out of 10. And lastly, we have the overall verdict. So, Sonic Generations. Well, since you might think of all the ratings I've given it, I think it's an awesome game. Yep. Well, you know, all the pros, great graphics, great gameplay, both classic and modern Sonic control wonderfully, amazing graphics, great music, a few good bosses, and pretty good replay value. There's a lot of great things about this game. There's only a few cons. Most of the bosses are pretty average and mediocre at best. While there is a good bit of replay value, I do think the game could have been a little longer. It's just kind of my opinion, you know. And Planet Wisp is a piece of dog shit. But I digress. This is, without a doubt, the best Sonic game I have ever played. Even better than the Mega Drive originals. So, if you want the best Sonic game out there, look no further than this game with the blue spiky hedgehog. Sonic Generations, only on the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. To me, this is actually the second best platform game of this gen. I'm pretty sure you know what the first one is, but that review is for another time. So anyway, guys, I'll see you later, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Bye, everyone.